A lot of people have the idea that self-criticism is helpful or motivating. And maybe it can be if it's really specific, like, okay, I want to improve this aspect of my athletic sport, so I'm going to really focus on making it better and critiquing it. I think that could be really useful. Where it gets dangerous is when people feel bad about themselves overall. And we have a lot of really strong research evidence now that a style of habitual self-criticism is linked to worse mental health, more stress, more anxiety, more depression, more eating disorders, more addictions, and more self-harm. So none of that is what we want. There are lots of factors that contribute to self-criticism. So I think it's a little bit of an inner exploration to consider some of the ways that you've been affected. There's definitely the cultural components of the idea of looking beautiful. There's the success components, wanting to achieve a lot. We have sort of a culture of competition. We're used to judging ourselves and comparing ourselves to other people. And then we know that if you've been mistreated in your life, it's really common to internalize that. There's awesome evidence that mindfulness meditation, that's making time to actually sit and tune in to this present moment right now without judgment, that habit is very helpful in reducing self-criticism. There's also a strategy called loving kindness meditation. Basically, you're training yourself to be friendly towards your own self. And the way to do that is by repeating phrases, and you can choose what they are. Some people like, may I be safe, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live with ease. The idea is to do those for about 5 minutes, to really sit with those phrases. When your mind goes away, try to bring it back without judgment. Because an interesting dimension of this work, when you're training yourself to be less self-critical, you're also training where your attention goes. You can try to ask, is there any valuable information here? Like maybe my self-criticism is trying to tell me something, like I want to take better care of my body. I want to be in better touch with my friends. Okay, well, that might be important. I still think the self-criticism could be maybe phrased in a gentler way. Like, hey, let's figure out how you can start exercising this week, instead of like, you're so awful because you don't exercise, right? There's a difference there. I also recommend an exercise called Spot the Success. It's kind of like a done list instead of a to-do list, right? I haven't done this, I haven't done that, and that, makes all of us feel kind of crummy and like we haven't done enough. So a done list is noticing, well, what are 10 things I have done today that contributed to my life or someone else or the world? And we're used to dismissing those. So just take a minute to marinate in those, to feel like, oh, I did get out of bed. I did take a walk with a friend. I did send that email. Okay, that's real too. There's a lot of wonderful evidence showing that some specific kinds of breathing exercises can help reduce your self-criticism. So the core instruction is you sit and perhaps pay attention to your breath. When your mind goes away, you bring it back. Your mind is going to go away because that's what minds do. Now here is the muscle work. Try not to judge yourself when your mind goes away. Instead, your mind goes away, you bring it back. It goes away, you bring it back. So you become skilled at both noticing where your mind is, shifting attention, which is awesome. It protects you against rumination if you develop that muscle, that skill of being able to shift your attention when you want to. And it's training non-judgment. So those things are all happening whether you use the breath itself or something like mindfulness of sounds. It doesn't necessarily matter what the focus is. You're still doing that mental work of shifting where your mind is and trying not to judge yourself. I think you can think of this as kind of like the fruits and vegetables, right? So self-criticism is the stuff that's not so great for you, and it might not work to get rid of it entirely. But if we can have more fruits and vegetables, we have better health. And the evidence is great that practicing self-compassion intentionally, that means trying to be friendly to yourself, even if you failed, messed up, things didn't go your way, you're suffering. If you can generate some friendly feelings like, oh, that's really hard. I'm so sorry you're going through this. how are we going to support, myself right now? What do I need today? If you can get that practice into your routine, the benefits show it helps your relationships, it helps your performance at work, and it helps reduce anxiety, depression, and stress.